This is the start of the XRP bull run. In the next 48 hours, the market will open between $300 and $600 trillion worth of XRP. This will happen overnight. Right away, volume will start to skyrocket, which will cause an XRP rise. As an example, look at what we're looking at right now. XRP went from 25 cents to $3.09 in just a few days. A similar thing happened when we were talking about 2024 on October 26th. XRP was at about 50 cents and then it went through the roof, reaching 327. And this is really just the beginning of the huge surge we're talking about. This time, things are going to be very different. This time, trillions of dollars will be added to the XRP system. The price could go as high as 27.58 because there aren't many coins available. We talked about how there are exchanges in South Korea that are actually selling and buying XRP at 50.17 right now in yesterday's video. Every XRP is worth exactly $50 USD in those places. In Canada and the US, the price of XRP is only about $2.15 and it's now about $2.20. We talked about how this is because so many people have adopted it. Take South Korea as an example. All of their banking systems and institutions accept XRP as payment. And this is making a huge demand for XRP. Since they don't have a lot of supply, the price of XRP has to go up because of this. This is similar to how the value of a currency goes up when there is a huge demand but not enough supply. The same thing happened in South Korea, and it's starting to happen in Japan too, where all of their banks are moving towards using XRP. It was said that by the end of 2025, which is in less than 30 days, every bank in Japan will use XRP. SBI Holdings is Japan's biggest company and owns most of the country's banks. Also, what does that really do? Well, it will cost about the same as what is happening in South Korea right now, which is that there will be a lot of demand and not enough supply. At that point, the price of one XRP will go through the roof. In Japan, for example, it could be $50 or $30, while in the United States, it's still only $2, $20. But this could change in the next 48 hours. We're talking about a huge market unlocking of over $654 trillion that could cost about the same as what's happening in Japan and South Korea right now. The reason for this is that the real estate market, the real world asset market, and the payment award market will all start putting money into the XRP system in the next 48 days. This is all the information you can find. It takes a lot of work, but this is free for everyone to use. So just think about how much XRP will be worth in 48 hours because of this. Here is where we stress that you must watch this movie all the way through if you have even one XRP, or any XRP at all, because we are going to tell you things you have never heard before. You will also learn that if you own XRP in the next 48 hours, it will be worth millions of dollars. It sounds crazy. That's what an expert named Eastmini actually brought up though. In the future, 10 XRP will be worth $10 million, which means that each XRP will be worth $1 million. Also, no, I'm not crazy. But look at this for a second and try to understand what's being said. RealFi is a payment credit system that works with multi-million-dollar institutions and lets you buy real estate. They just recently said that they had built a project on the XRP ledger that uses only the XRP ledger. This means that you can now actually buy real estate. We're talking about business and residential real estate worth millions of dollars that can be paid for directly with the XRP ledger. That means that XRP is now being used around the world, which is what the project's founders, like Eartha Britu, said it should be used everywhere. It needs to be used by 10 million to 10 billion people. After that, XP will reach the $10,000 price that was set for it. We'll take a short break now to talk about the $654 trillion market that RealFi says will start to form in the next 48 hours. This is happening right now on the XRP ledger, and it's using a project called Realtek that is only used on the XRP ledger. The Realtek is now very strong. This should go hand in hand if you have XRP, of course. You should put this next to your XRP bag because it will make people multimillionaires. We're talking about real tokens that are built on the XRP system and can handle trillions of dollars. They will solve a problem worth many trillions of dollars. And really, every trade is burning XRP. One example is that if you use the real token, you have to burn some of your XRP. This means that there is less XRP available and more people want the real token. It works out well for everyone. And you'll see that X40 hours time frame. When the huge $650 trillion market opened up, it went straight into XRP and then from XRP into real token. This caused a supply shock for both XRP and real token. XRP could go up to $40, $50, but real token could go up to over $60,000 from 3 cents. And it sounds crazy, but pay close attention. Real tokens are very hard to get. There are only about 1 billion of them in circulation. That means that not all of the stock is in circulation. Right now, I think there's about 100 million in circulation. Just take a look at what's about to happen. The real token has a very low supply. So if 1% of the $650 trillion market actually bought some, there would be a huge supply shock that would send the price of the real token from 0.03 to $65,000. This is crazy, but it's the truth. In fact, if you look at it right now, you can see the effect right away. For instance, if someone bought $10,000 worth of real token right now, the value of real token could go from $0.03 to $60 to $70. Let's say that someone invests $10,000 in real token. The price could go through the roof and reach tens of dollars, which would mean that you would make about 10s, 20, or 30 times your money. Now picture that on a large scale. Right now, you're talking about $100,000 worth of transactions happening every day with real token. Then, we don't know, the price of real token would go through the roof and hit hundreds of dollars. Now picture that on a very large scale, because what we're talking about now is a huge centralized exchange listing for real token on December 5th, which is in 48 hours. At that rate, more than $5 billion worth of transactions would happen every day, giving people the chance to actually enter real coin. 5 BN right now. Imagine that $5 billion worth of transactions enter the real token every day. How much a real ticket would cost? The amount could be anywhere from a few $100s to tens of thousands of dollars. But you need to understand that what's happening now is going to happen no matter what. Plus, it's really one of a kind. We'll never see something this crazy again that could make you hundreds or even thousands of dollars, like 3 cents for every real ticket worth hundreds of thousands of dollars and $1,000 for the chance to make $1 million. It doesn't happen. It has happened to Bitcoin before. Bitcoin is $1 and Bitcoin is worth 20,000. Now you have another one-of-a-kind chance that's just like. You can see this especially when you look at, say, every real-world asset project. Every real-world asset project that brings us down on centralized exchange goes up. There are so many of them that the market cap can reach over $100 billion. That's $100 billion for a real token. That's tens of thousands of dollars for a real token. So this is a golden chance that will never come up again for you guys to get as much as you can. But with that huge rise, and as December 5th gets closer, 48 hours to go, then 24 hours, the price of real tokens will continue to rise and surge. And the guys who can collect right now, when prices are the lowest they'll ever be, will be the ones who make the most money. Because if you want to buy low, you should try to get the prices as low as they can go. Once Realtor makes some important changes, the number will never drop below what it is now, since it's used by more than 40 million people every day and handles more than $5 billion in sales. We've never seen these numbers before. At the moment, there are no transactions for real estate agents. The amount is only a few $1,000s, which isn't much, but that will all change in 48 hours on December 5th when you'll see mass-scale volume. There were huge price jumps and supply shocks, so I'll leave all the information below the links. Everything will be linked in the description, and you can also check them out if you want to visit their Twitter page and follow them. This is at Real Fight Team. Now, I want to make it clear that I'm not a financial planner, not financial advice and using research. What I'm really trying to say here is that you should do your research because you don't want to be like the people who say in the comments, I wish I bought real token when it was 1/100th of a penny and now look at what it's worth, 3 cents. You don't want to be that person who says, I wish I had bought real turkey for 3 cents when it was $100. But you want to be the one who did the study, made their own choice, even though they've already seen it. Then you should be able to make that money because you did the work to find out about it. You don't care if you didn't. Now, the whole point is to learn as much as you can and make your own choice. Because, well, that's the most important thing. And that's where the money is moving. You have the money to do some study, and it's clear that you can pass on your wealth from generation to generation because so many people have made millions off of crypto. You can do the same thing if you just study it for 5 minutes. Again, I'll leave all the links below. I'm now going to end the show. Do not forget to like, share, or subscribe. XRP is clearly going up again, which is a very good sign. It's clear that this is a good sign because as the price of XRP